intensified. In this way, the Iranians definitely put Taliban aside, for their plan was in fact to murder Ghassemlou. The Iranians then sought a dispensable intermediary, an Iraqi Kurd who had ties with influential officials in Iran. This intermediary contacted Ghassemlou and invited him to meet in Vienna once more with the Iranian delegation in July 1989. Ghassemlou accepted, but he did not inform the party. The PTI had come to believe that peace negotiations with Tehran were futile. The second set of meetings was part of the Iranian plot to eliminate Ghassemlou. In fact, the first meetings were meant as a bait that would lead to a second round of meetings without Talabani and without security measures. Absolute secrecy was probably asked of them. Now we all ask ourselves over and over again, why did Ghassemlou accept this? He mistakenly believed that Iran, weakened by 8 years of war with Iraq, needed to resolve the Kurdish problem after Khomeini's death. He also felt that Rafsanjani, who had presented himself as a pragmatic candidate for the Iranian presidency, would be the man to take on the Kurdish issue. So Ghassemlou took the bait. He went to Vienna to meet with the Iranian emissaries without taking security precautions and did not inform the party. After the first meeting on July 12th, he was confident and happy. On the second meeting, July 13, 1989, Abdul Rahman Ghassemlou was killed, together with his assistant, Abdullah Qaderi, and the intermediary, Fadi Rasool. During the shooting, a stray bullet wounded one of the emissaries. And it is because of this stray bullet that the Iranian plot was not the perfect murder. 2 of the 3 Iranian emissaries negotiating with Ghassemlou were taken into custody by the Austrian authorities. The head of the Austrian anti-terrorism unit was overheard saying, quote, "We've got dead Kurds and surviving Iranians. The matter is clear. The rest will be politics," close quotes. And politics it was. Tehran threatened reprisals, but there was also a political scandal in Austria, the Noricum process, which implicated high-level Austrian officials in the sale of weapons to Iran and Iraq, violating Austria's neutrality. So the Austrian authorities released the Iranian witnesses who left the country. It was because of this commercial exchange of weapons with the Islamic Republic of Iran and its fear of retaliation from the Iranian regime that Austria, a democratic European state, released the witnesses and suspects of the crime. Not only did they cover up a state murder, but they blocked any investigation, thus becoming, by omission, the accomplices to a terrorist act. In 1991, Helen Kluge, Ghassemlou's widow, initiated a legal proceedings against the state of Austria for the crime against Ghassemlou. She said, open quote, "For us and for all the Kurdish people, the question of why Austrian justice is silent in the face of his crimes is still pending," close quote. A year and a half later, the Austrian High Court ruled that, open quote, there had been no deficiencies in the proceedings because the respective and relevant facts had not been clear to the authorities in time, close quote. That's what the judge said. So the case was dismissed. In 2005, the Austrian parliamentary Peter Pils brought forth new evidence regarding the participation of the Iranian regime in the murder and allegedly implicating the then President Hashemi Rafsanjani and the newly elected President of Iran, Mahmoud Ahmadinejad, in the planning of the assassination. According to this new evidence, there had been 2 Iranian teams involved in the murder, a negotiations team and an execution team. Pils demanded the case be reopened and that there be a parliamentary inquiry. The request was denied. In 2009, the matter was reopened by Peter Pils based on the confession of a German arms dealer to the Italian police. That man affirmed he had delivered the weapons that killed the Kurds to the Iranian embassy in Vienna. 22 years later, The case has never been resolved, and the Austrian authorities have not even released the evidence. Now, has anything changed within the Islamic regime of Iran since Ghassemlou's murder in 1989? Well, we can say that today the Iranian regime is not killing dissidents in the western cities, but that is due to the exposure brought forth by the Mykonos trial on the murder of Ghassemlou's successor, Sadegh Sharafkendi, and 3 colleagues in Berlin in 1992. But the elimination of dissidents has continued in Iran, Turkey, and of course, in Iran. It is thanks to the Mykonos trial that we learned that assassinations of political dissidents within Iran and abroad were ordered directly by Khomeini. After his death in 1989, a special affairs committee was established to make decisions on matters of state. One of the issues was the suppression and elimination of political opposition to the Islamic Republic. This committee appointed Iran's Minister of Intelligence to oversee the systematic elimination of PDKI's leadership. The elimination of dissidents through terrorist activity grew. It was an expression of the regime's internal and foreign policy. The Mykonos trial revealed that the Islamic Republic of Iran led a ferocious state-sponsored campaign of political assassinations abroad. From 1979 to 1992, high-level Iranian officials were linked to 162 extrajudicial killings of key political opponents around the globe, especially in European cities. With the discreet tolerance of the respective governments in Europe, no justice was served. Many of these countries had commercial interests with Iran. This is yet another example of the rights of Iranian citizens being cast aside. The crucial point here is this: had Europe and the world spoken against the earlier crimes of political dissidents, Iran's terror regime may not have developed as it has in the years following the revolution. We are going to hear much more about this topic in the talks that follow. But keep in mind, as you hear the ensuing speakers, the courageous and valiant hearts of the Kurdish people. It is this spirit that beats ceaselessly within this nation, despite years of senseless crimes and persecution. When I say this will to survive endures, I mean strength and hope lives on within each and every Kurd, no matter in which nation he or she lives, no matter the particulars of their daily lives. Abdul Rahman Ghassemlou had his finger on the pulse of the Kurdish will to live, and more than live, to live in freedom. He believed in the resolute dream he held most dear, that one day his people would have the right to their culture and to live in peace. Not such a far-fetched notion, yet one that remains elusive. The life of Ghassemlou ended before he could see the actualization of this wish for his people come to fruition. While reaching for its manifestation, Ghassemlou met the untimely end that cut short his vision for a brighter and united future. May his dream continue to guide his countrymen and women to fulfill the destiny that is rightly theirs. Though his flame was extinguished much too early, the fire and passion of his vision endures in the hearts of millions of Kurds. Ghassemlou wouldn't have wanted it any other way.